Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny. That is Sal. Today we've got Hassan over here. And if you want to support this channel, consider joining up for our YouTube memberships, where you get behind-the-scenes discussions and the stuff that happens before and after the show on live airs and stuff like that. You could also support us by going to our sponsor, Into the AM. Use the code Absolutely. Link is down below to get 10% off of your order. These are legitimately some of the most comfortable shirts I've ever owned. I love them, and the designs are pretty good, but you can also get a blank one if that's what you're looking for. Maybe we can get Hassan out of stripes. I don't know.
Everybody keeps coming for my stripes.
I didn't even notice. They're quite good.
You do know that like
vertical stripes are the slimming ones.
Yeah, you want to go slimming if you're going to do this.
But you already slim, so
you are slim, but you make yourself look like a house because you're going wide. Like,
look, Benny. All right, I was getting ready for my birthday this weekend, and I put on a striped shirt. And my girlfriend said, "Hey, do you think 24 is the year you stop dressing like a middle school boy?" So then I put on a non-striped shirt. But this is the only thing that was clean on my floor because I was late this morning, guys. So.
So anyway, let's talk about the topic. There's a current hashtag going around, boycott Black Adam. Now, doing a little bit more research, this was given to me by one of our fans over here, one of our viewers, Undead King Taz sent this over to me, and he spams me with stuff, and he gets one hit every 6 months that I'll actually talk about. And I feel like that's why he spams me. He's like, I'll get one. He'll bring it up, and I'll hear my name. But he linked this to me, and I found that there has been this is deeper than what he linked, but what he did link is the image. Dwayne Johnson, in a recent interview, said that he has been fighting since 6 years to bring back Black Adam versus Superman to the big screen. Justice League was shot 6 years ago. Zack Snyder was supposed to return to direct the Justice League sequels after that. But egotistical Dwayne Johnson wanted to create his own universe for Superman and the JSA instead of continuing the Snyderverse. All my fellow Snyder Knights need to realize that Dwayne Johnson is literally one of the reasons the Snyderverse didn't get restored. His DCEU pitch to Warner Brothers is literally the one they chose instead of restoring the Snyderverse. We should all collectively hashtag boycott Black Adam. So let's start with that reasoning behind the hashtag. What do you feel about that one? Hassan, you go first, because Sal and I have been talking all morning because we were on time.
Yeah, no, I was obviously late, and that's going to be over my head for the next 6 weeks. But now that I'm here,
that's how in-jokes work, man.
Guys, look. Snyderverse Knights? Yeah, let's band together, okay? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of the only actors in this universe that seems to give a shit and wants to make a movie. Screw him. We need the guy who phoned it in and wrote a hack me trash movie back. Yeah, guys, I'm going to say it here. It's a good movie, but it's not a good opening to a universe. It doesn't make any sense. It's silly. It sounds like the thing the Snyderverse fans do. I guess it I want to say at this point, it has to be less about the Snyderverse movies, more of like these people must have made like deep-rooted friendships on the internet over fighting for this. They're like, like wars. They've traded war stories. I remember when I tweeted this and Warner Brothers liked this tweet, but it turned out that they were going to announce this movie.
Remember when I spent my life savings on a crop dusting plane that said hashtag restore the Snyderverse over Comic-Con?
Yep. You know what? They've worked really hard, so obviously they're entitled to their little conspiracy theories and their sad, maniacal rants. But
I'm giving you the freedom here. I actually enjoyed the Snyderverse stuff. I did. I mean, I've gone on record stating that.
Yes,
but he's got on record, and I will state very clearly what I think of the Snyderverse again. So there's no mishaps about it. I'm tired of these mishaps in these comments. I think that is a terrible pitch for a universe. It is a great pitch for an Elseworld story. It's a fantastic movie you do down the road. Hell, I would even say let the universe exist for another 10 years and then bring back the Snyderverse as an Elseworlds, as a multiversal story, as our Injustice world. But you wanted to introduce Superman to become the tried and true Superman over the course of 3 movies and stuff like that. Awesome idea for the third thing you do in a multiverse of movies, but not thing number one. And Benny will go on record and say, well, no, because he was Superman the whole time, and we've had this argument.
No. He was able to do Superman. That I will say. But I have said before, as much as I did like the Snyderverse, I do not think it should have been the first foray into the DCU. Yeah. I think we should have gotten a good plan of just the traditional superheroes. I do say, I have said that on record as well.
Yeah.
And the only reason the Snyderverse worked for me is I'm used to the regular traditional versions of the superheroes, but the general public has not had that.
Right.
No.
That's the thing, because like right now we're a decade past Man of Steel, right? And had they gone a real course, by now we'd be getting Robin would probably be becoming Nightwing, and the Titans movie would be happening. You know, like if you really think about like the sequential part of that universe, we'd probably have so many sprawling, you know, storylines to keep track of. Instead, we have one broken apart storyline that we could vaguely piece together that might be relevant to each other, and then Black Adam that seems to want to do its own thing, which fine by me. I don't really have a lot of. I wasn't putting a lot of money on Black Adam to save the DC universe anyways.
No.
It seems like it's going to be a really fun movie. Let's go to the movie in Fast and the Furious style jam session. Like that's what I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch Fast and the Furious.
It's gotten crazy reviews. Now, obviously, these are all insider reviewings and previews, and so we don't know how good it is. But people are comparing and saying it's like one of the best DCEU movies yet. Sal, what is your thoughts on hashtag this whole thing being from the Snyder Knights, which I've never heard a term used, by the way.
I'm sure he made it up. Like, I'm sure he's using it on his personal social media, and he's like, "You're not the Snyder Bros, you're Snyder Knights, because you're fighting the good fight." For a fight that shouldn't exist, boycott Black Adam. I think it was inevitable. It's funny because I remember dreading Black Adam when they announced it. Like the first time they said The Rock is going to be Black Adam, I'm like, cool. A villain is going to be a mainstay character in the DC universe. That tracks. Also, that like because it's The Rock, it's going to be like a character that isn't a major player in the DC universe, no matter how hard DC tries to make him such, only because The Rock is making a movie about him, so it's all, you know, concentric. But like, I was like, this is going to be terrible. Like, not terrible in terms of the quality of the movie, but more like, great. The DC universe in the movies needs to be brighter and more friendly, I think, and so we're going to hitch our wagon to Black Adam, who's a murdering despot. And like, I was really worried about it. But by now, I'm like, the world of the Snyder Cut and the Snyderverse and the Snyder world, like, it's not about Snyder making movies anymore. Like, anything that, when I saw them boycott The Batman, which is arguably one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen, and they were like, mid, I was like, oh, okay. So you're never going to be satisfied. Like, it isn't about quality control. It is about you feeling power by bullying movie studios. Got it. So like, I knew that the Black Adam movie was going to be boycotted because
there are other reasons behind the boycott. I'm just going off the one that was originally linked to me. I've looked into it a little bit more. The rest of these don't have much more credence. It seems to lean to a couple directions. One, if you are in the park that believes the whole, and I'm not leaning either way. I'm just saying, like, if you are one of those people that is crazy on like the Ray Fisher argument, screw WB, Ray Fisher was abused.
Right.
Those people are saying it, which I completely get. If you know what I mean, if you're like, I'm back in Ray Fisher, I'm going to boycott this movie.
Sure. But Ray Fisher has nothing to do with this movie.
No, he doesn't. But because of their treatment of Ray Fisher, people are saying boycott Black Adam because Walter Hamada is apparently credited in the credits for this.
Naturally. Yeah. Well, and honestly, I don't think it has any, like, they don't know who Walter Hamada is. Like, they just want a name associated, like, with their rage. Like, they can't yell at every fan. They can't yell at every critic who likes those movies. They could try, and they do. Yeah. But, like, they also have to find, like, a scapegoat. And, like, we have the person we worship, but who do we demonize?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I mean, that what I get. The Walter Hamada thing, I've always said, is like, he's so far up the chain, it's ridiculous. There's another one I've seen in here. They want to boycott Black Adam because apparently if it succeeds, Jeff Johns might become the president of DC Films.
Right.
Jeff Johns isn't even remotely in the running for that job anymore. He completely lost his legs.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Jeff Johns was the only person in the running. He was the original supposed to be Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
And then he crapped his little pants and it was over.
Sure did. Yeah.
I mean, I've liked his writing, but he definitely went in a weird direction.
Yeah.
And it didn't pan out. So
I was shocked when I heard everything else that I heard because I generally speaking, I've appreciated his writing. If it's not hindered by editors, it's always a good story in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The biggest two arguments seems to be boycott it because The Rock is against Zack Snyder, which we have no evidence of.
He's not. Like, he's just making a movie, and he's just making a movie.
The only thing Dwayne Johnson's been talking about is that it took him 6 years and that the former leadership of Warner Brothers was not interested in bringing Henry Cavill back.
Right.
That could be for a myriad of reasons.
And then there's
Yeah.
the arguments against Walter Hamada and Jeff Johns due to the supposed abuses that happened during the Justice League. And I say supposed because I've not looked into the whole thing. All I know is that the lawsuit came back and said they found nothing, but we don't know what that actually means.
Well,
So-
congratulations! You've just invited a metric research paper of comments that says, like, well, you didn't do the research? Don't worry,
didn't do
I've
the
got
research.
all the circumstantial
the research
evidence.
I did was that it was thrown out by actual
Yeah.
lawyers in courts. So
Yeah.
that's and I know there's an argument
No, I
either
know.
way, and that's
Yeah.
why I've just been like, whatever.
You can't. But if I yell at you loud enough, or if I have like long enough comment, I win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, we know that. That's
There
this
was
channel
some
invites all
links
that.
of comments arguing. Every time Snyderverse comes up, I feel like I'll get like, well, Hassan, maybe you don't understand how movies work, but you
I
see a
love
story
that!
is told in several parts, and I'm like,
I've made one, and I've worked on the set of movies, so maybe I don't.
Yeah, maybe. It just the idea that they get very grandiose about this. At the end of the day, guys, like, you can enjoy the Snyderverse for what it was. I think it gave birth to one of the coolest live-action Batman suits ever. No more do we have to wear armor military battle suits. We can wear like a dope cloth suit and have a Jack guy look awesome.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to like murder people, and it's like, maybe not what I want out of
Not
Batman.
my Batman, but,
at first,
yeah.
visually stunning.
great. Yep.
That cyborg in that movie, trash. Looks like a polygon generated in my GameCube. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
But I liked Ray Fisher's acting in it. There's
Yeah,
like
he
a
looked-
lot.
yeah,
There's a lot of things to love.
Yeah, he did a good job.
But at the end of it, why are we sitting here begging to reanimate a corpse when we could just move on with a new living creature and then pay homage and have great in memoriams for the Snyderverse, have great references for good that, like, hey, like, have a subtle reference down the road that references, the Martha line.
Right.
Just as like a nod to the old Snyderverse fans. Like, let's have a reason to commemorate this and think of it fondly and not, shit and cry about it all the time, guys. Come on. It's time
like
we move
just
on.
like find something like it was like you know what it's like? It's like being a Firefly fan. Like
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Hey,
that's
us
it.
brown coats are coming back, Sal.
it's over, man. And if it comes back, good for you. But like I remember being like really into it and being like
Oh, yeah,
a
same
real
here.
big supporter and being like, this movie is going to be the biggest thing, and it made no money. It failed so hard. I'm like, okay, it's over. And then there were comic books, and I read those, and I'm like, these are terrible. And like, so everything that came out that was like new for Firefly or Serenity, I'm like, this sucks. Then it turns out Joss Whedon sucks, and I'm like, well then don't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, but like I moved on. You find other things to like, and the Snyderverse, whether it's successful, financially viable, it's not even important. What matters is the people who run Warner Brothers don't want to do it anymore. And they get like really crazy about it when it infects the conversation about the next thing they're doing, because this is not a world that they inherit. This is a world they inherited. This is not a world they grew up in. So like everyone at the executive all the way down to like the intern getting coffee level at Warner Brothers Studios is like, I don't even understand what the hell's going on right now. Like, we're
You know
making
what it
a
reminds
movie,
me of?
you're welcome. And everyone else is like, boo! And they're like, why are you booing? You haven't seen the damn thing yet. Like, they don't understand what's
That
going
goes back to
on.
the response I'm having with the Gotham Knights people, where they're like, I'm canceling my pre-order. It's not out. What are you canceling?
Yeah. Okay, it'll still make $1 billion.
Gotham Knights not come out yet? That's
No.
another conversation.
It comes out Friday. It comes out Friday.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Marketing
no,
that's been
it came
crazy.
out that it's 30 frames instead of 60 frames, and people are freaking the fuck out.
Oh, cry about it. Every freaking video game for the last 2 decades has been 30 frames, and then
Well, that's
eventually
the
gets
argument. That
remastered
we're now in the
and
next
upscaled.
gen, and it should be 60.
Yeah,
That's the,
right. And then
we're not having that argument. We're not having that
Doesn't
argument. We'll have that argument another day.
I'm with Sal on, Sal brought up Firefly. I'll bring up something that's closer to home to me, and this audience will understand more if they've seen anything I've been in. I love Young Justice. I to this day think Young Justice is the perfect exemplification of that universe, and that those writers understood the DC characters more than anyone else ever has. Have you guys seen me tweeting #BringBackYoungJustice?
Right?
No, because I did that. And I got the show back, and it was perfect. In fact, I loved it. It was everything that I want to be. Maybe some slow pacing
Yeah,
at
we
first.
can have that debate also.
Whatever.
but-
Whatever.
The fact that they brought it back at all is a miracle,
Right.
and it's like,
They
but you
brought
can't
it back.
imagine that they're going to bring it back 17 more times.
Right.
Like,
And if they do, it won't be because it's hashtag, because at the end of the day, it didn't perform. They
Right.
never marketed it. Some people did. I've had talked to people that like, oh yeah, Young Justice. They had that one renewal season. I was like, no, they had two. They had a season 2. They never even heard about it because by the time DC
I had
Universe was
people,
folded into
when
Max,
I would make a review on my shorts or my story, it'd be like, this is the first time hearing about Young Justice.
Right.
Yeah, right. I did that one clip on TikTok months ago for us where I was like, here's the most Superman has ever been, and it's Superman.
That's the same
and
one.
Young
I did that
Justice.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really great scene. It's him being goofy Clark Kent and all that stuff, but people didn't know about it. That's why I'm not going to sit here and fight for it. Will I, if the conversation come up, will I throw out a hashtag bring back Young Justice? Of course, if it's relevant to what I'm doing. But am I going to sit here and spend all of my time and all the influence I've garnered trying to be like, oh man, I'm going to bring back Young Justice? When I was 12, I'll tell you right now, guys, I started my YouTube channel right around when Young Justice was canceled. And I was like, I'm going to bring back Young Justice with my subscribers. Well, I hit 2 million yesterday. I'm not going to spend my time and my money and my effort trying to bring back that show, even though I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's time to move on. Maybe it'll come back. I very well believe if we leave the Snyderverse alone and we let this universe grow and flourish and maybe get some actual real creative people instead of Zaslabs behind this, this next era, we could have the Snyderverse back in a way that I think loves it more, that appreciates it more.
To go with what you're both saying right there, do you know why Rob was finally on an episode of Absolute Comics? There's a reason why after 5 years we put him on. Sal knows it. He probably doesn't know it, but he does know.
I'm not sure I understand because he asked.
Well, no, because we were talking about it, which led to that discussion. But there's a reason why I was like adamantly against discussing Rob for like 3 years.
Right.
Like you'd bring it up and I would just ignore it. And there's a reason. It is not because Rob and I were fighting or there was a big falling out. It's because Rob wanted to go do something else, which left me with the show, and I had to figure out what to do with it. And every time I'd come on and be like, guys, we're bringing in Andy. It's going to be this new discussion. Guys, we're going to do this D&D. Guys, we're going to do this. I would get, but where's Rob?
Yeah.
Rob went to go do Rob's own thing. I don't care where Rob is. I'm making this.
Yeah.
But where's Rob, Benny? That's why for 5 years, Rob would hit me up. Hey, guys, it'd be fun to do a podcast. And I'd be like, nah, we're good. Because until you all stopped asking every goddamn episode, I wasn't even entertaining it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
No,
that's literally until the questions turned away from where's Rob to actual like a meme with the regulars.
Right.
Where's Rob? Until that happened, wasn't even entertaining it. Rob brought it up like for 2 or 3 years, and he knew. I told him, I'm not bringing you back until they stop asking for you.
Right.
I completely agree. You can resonate with that so well. It's that like as an audience, right, we have to understand we're not going to be given what we beg for. And by the time we get it by begging for it, it's really not what we want in the first place.
No.
Because the Young Justice that I got after the Young Justice was promised
was terrible. It's horrible. And you think it is. You just won't say it out loud. It's the worst thing ever created.
I wanted Cartoon Network Young Justice, but I got one that grew up with me. I got a show that literally has aged the 10 years that I'd aged at the time, and they were about topics that were more relevant to my day-to-day. They were about characters that I maybe didn't care about as much, but it was told through the lens of them to reintroduce us into a universe, and Benny doesn't like that, whatever. We'll have an entire video on this, apparently. Eventually, we'll discuss this.
Yeah, when we got time and you show up on time, like we would have been great to do that today, but...
Oh my God. But...
You said it yourself, 6 weeks, I get to rag on you for this. So.
I know the time limit, yes. I'll see you guys in December in peace, apparently. But yeah, it's like for me, in my comment section, I got really popular doing this Mickey voice thing. And the issue is, I actually love it. I actually really enjoy it. But when my comment sections are nothing but Mickey, you'll be damned if I ever do that voice. You'll be damned if I ever put my hand in the puppet or I'll do some bit for you. But we've actually been planning really fun Mickey content, but I haven't touched it because I'm like, shut up.
You get tired of it, right?
Yeah. You get so exhausted.
You know what irritates me? And I answer these, and I will. And this is not an invitation to stop leaving the comments. But what irritates me is when I launch a new channel on the side, and I'm trying to do a Dungeons and Dragons thing, or I'm trying to do a gaming thing, and someone goes over there and they're like, hey, so when are you going to cover this in the other channel?
Yes.
I'll answer it, I will, but that's the fastest way for me to not encourage you talking to me again. Right. Like, yeah, no, we're going to be doing it over here. Anyway, who else wants to talk about the game I'm playing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Here's the thing we put time, money, and effort, and honestly our hearts into, because a lot of times on the internet we get really successful as one thing. We want to move on to do other fun stuff and then find a way to love the old thing again.
Yeah.
And I think we'll circle back to the main conversation. That's what you're doing with the Snyderverse. If you really wanted that back, don't pretend DC doesn't love what Injustice is.
Don't get aggressive either.
Yes.
Boycott Black Adam? Like, that's DC gonna be like, so we're never gonna bring back the thing you want. We're just never gonna do it. Like,
Right. Yeah, that's,
carrot
you're
and
talking
the
to
stick,
people who
guys.
have direct control over their empires right now, where it's like, if you tell me that I want, like, if you distract me from the thing I'm working on, then I'm only going to work on that harder and not talk about the thing you want. That's just people who have direct control over that. You're talking to movie studios and being like, boo, thing you're making. Like, they're going to use everything they have at their disposal to be like, we're never going
the
to do
day that
anything.
I said I was not in the Snyderverse camp in terms of like, I'm one of those fans and I want to go to the conversations and I go to the meetings. Apparently they have meetings.
Yeah.
Is when I went to, it was like 2018 or something like that. I went to one of their live streams where they were discussing the future of DC. They had like Jim Lee and they had like all the people from the CW shows. And the chat was just being spammed by people going, hashtag bring back the Snyderverse. Or
Oh my
restore
God.
Restore Snyderverse,
And
the
I was
very
like-
first DC fandom.
Yep.
The whole
and I was
entire
like,
chat.
there's no way in hell I want to be associated with this because you come across as nothing but toxic.
Yeah.
Going
Oh,
back
yeah.
to like a discussion we had at the air where I scrapped our comics woke discussion, one of the personal opinion things was you can have a valid point in something, but when the group you're a part of is just nothing but outrageous stuff, your point is null and void. It doesn't matter. I could sit there and give you a legit reason why I think the Snyderverse should come back, and it won't matter because you'll go, Snyder, bro. Like,
Right.
that's it. That's the end of it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and we could circle this conversation over and over because I think the points will always stay the same. The points will always be that enjoy it creatively, enjoy what it was, but you're not going to get it until you let it go.
Yeah.
If you love something, set it free. It's the oldest thing you get told when you get dumped by your high school girlfriend. I'm telling you it now as adults. Like, they finally got to the point of comfortability where they've made fun of it on both Harley Quinn and Teen Titans Go, which
Yeah.
means that the peak awareness of it exists. The last time Teen Titans Go made fun of something, it was Young Justice, and then Young Justice came back.
Right.
So there's your little like hope. There's your thread. Hold that thread. Close your mouth with it. So don't talk about this anymore.
Right.
But like hold on to it because the thing that makes Injustice cool is that we have the original Justice League.
Yes.
And you guys want to live in the Injustice world right now? Let's not live there yet. You know, let's live in the world where Batman and Superman are best friends and they love each other and then they fight.
Right.
And then there's like real weight to that
And
moment.
it's sad
because-
that they fight. Like that's
It's
otherwise
so
it's just
sad.
watching Superman not kill Batman.
Yeah. Right.
But
right.
I want to bring this back around because we are running a little bit later here. I want to bring this back to Black Adam, okay?
Yeah.
And I want to end this discussion on one more tweet that I found that makes literally no sense at this point. And this kind of just it backs what you guys are saying, where these people feel that they have some kind of a power or authority, okay?
Yeah.
And this is why I always laugh at the Twitterverse and people doing things like this. So this is an account which has 507 people following, and they're following 507, and they have 288 followers.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're tweeting out that if we want to get the CEO of AMC's attention, hashtag boycott Black Adam and tag The Rock and WB Pictures. If we don't get a response by October 21st, cancel your tickets. Okay? And the follow-up response to that, the top upvoted response to that, they didn't get ratioed, but still top voted, I'll buy extra tickets.
Absolutely.
Which just is like, that's how stupid and dumb this whole argument becomes. This
Yeah.
movie is probably going to not do billions, but it'll probably do really well. I honestly think it will.
Yeah.
Like I saw somebody say a while ago that when I made the comment of the Rock considers himself to be a franchise maker, they're like, oh, well, these movies did poorly. I don't remember your name, and I was actually going to comment on you directly in this thing, and I can't remember it, and I apologize. But I Googled every movie that The Rock has been in, all of
Right.
them, to see what you're talking about. And the only one I have not Googled was Jungle Cruise to see what it did. And even Jungle Cruise made profit. Jungle Cruise is the worst. At a $200 million budget, made $221 million.
Oh, bummer.
That's not good.
Right, which isn't a franchise maker, you're right. But
No.
his key thing was that Baywatch didn't. I actually looked into that. Baywatch doubled its money and is supposed to be getting a sequel. And the reason it doesn't is The Rock got too busy.
Yeah. Baywatch was huge.
And
Yeah.
Zac Efron is also stating he'll never do those workouts again. Not without a
Fair.
huge check. So
Right.
Yeah.
So The Rock
is a
can make franchises, but I don't think something like Jungle Cruise is ever going to be a franchise. I doubt it.
Guys,
No.
the Fast and the Furious has been a tried and true franchise with one single thread. I mean, there's spin-off movies, but they've all been in the same continuity. The Rock came, they let him act for one movie, and they're like, actually, throw out the Louisiana Bayou accent. You're Samoan, you're back to being actual Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and we'll give you your own goddamn movie if you don't want to deal with Vin Diesel. And then they did that, and you know what? I hate to say it, movie was kind of good.
Hobbs and Shaw made almost $800 million. Like,
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw
Right.
was huge. And that one also is getting a sequel, and it's not. I just pulled up Fast and the Furious. Fast 7, the highest grossing are Fast 7, Fast 6, The Fate of the Furious, Fast 5, and Hobbs and Shaw. 4 of those has The Rock in it.
yeah.
Pretty sure Fate of the Furious is 4. No, it's not 4. Never mind. That means The Rock was in all of them. Wait, Fate of the Furious is the new one. Never mind. He's not in that one. He's still in 4.
But yeah, it's. I mean, and by the way, like quoting box office figures, it's always frustrating to hear like people quote stats that are like either irrelevant or
it's
not
8?
part of the conversation. But like those are indicative of the fact that like people go to see them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
How many times has a
money
Transformers movie been boycotted and shit on, and they keep making them because they make bank?
People
Right.
keep going to see them.
Right. And
And I can tell you right now, I'm not the only one going and enjoying them.
I'm not, and I don't go to them. I'm like, I don't like these movies.
I like
don't
watching
go.
them at home when I'm very, very inebriated. Like, they're a great movie
I
to
sit
watch.
there
I'm
like
not-
this, like, oh, the humans are talking again.
Yeah.
Robots!
Yeah, and guys, and like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I would venture to say he is the last like movie star you go to theaters to see. Back in the day, there was like, this person's in a movie, that's why we go see it. I will say that he might be the last one that's like sincerely like that. Like his name attached to something is why you'd go see a movie. And I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like, oh man, he's incredible. His cinematics, his Oscar-worthy performance. No, he's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson being like, I'm big, right?
That's it. That's you just nailed it. That's a
Did you
perfect
hear the
impression.
story that his first superhero suit had padding in it? And he had them pull it all out
He's
because
like,
he's like,
why?
yeah, look,
I'm already
he's
huge.
like, I don't work on this to pad it. Like,
Right?
This is The Rock's kitchen. Getting cooking. Like, come
anyway,
on,
guys, we're going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoy this, please consider joining our YouTube memberships or hitting up our sponsor, Into the AM. And let us know your opinion down below on anything we talked today, because this is definitely one of those broad talking topics. We kind of hit a lot of things in this
true.
one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're going to hate on someone, hate on me this time. It's fine. I'll take the blame. I'll take it. I never get to hate. I do, but I ban those people. Anyway. Right.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time right here at Absolutely Marvelous DC.